Sweetheart, as I sit and reflect on my life, I can't help but feel incredibly grateful, truly blessed, for the people who have walked beside me, stood by me, and poured love into my soul. I've been fortunate in a way that words often fall short of describing. From the very beginning, my life has been filled with kindness, warmth, and support, starting with my wonderful parents, loving siblings, genuine friends, wise teachers, and compassionate colleagues. Every chapter of my life has been touched by the presence of people who have given me their best. My parents, in particular, have been the foundation of everything I am today. They've worked tirelessly, sacrificing so much, just to make sure I never lacked anything, not materially, not emotionally, not spiritually. They gave me a life full of comfort and love, a home filled with laughter, and a heart filled with hope. They never said no to my dreams or desires, and because of them, I grew up believing in possibilities. But more importantly, they passed on to me the values that truly matter: kindness, empathy, honesty, and respect. They raised me not just to be successful but to be a good human being, and for that, I am endlessly thankful. My relationship with my siblings is another treasure I hold close to my heart. We've shared so many memories, some filled with joy, others with tears, but all of them have made our bond stronger. We've been each other's greatest cheerleaders and occasional rivals, but always with love at the center of it all. With them, I've learned the importance of loyalty and unconditional support. My friends, too, have been nothing short of a blessing. They have walked with me through laughter and sorrow, through high moments of celebration and the quiet, aching lows. They've shown up when I needed them most, often without me even asking. The sincerity in their gestures, the way they listen, the way they encourage me when I feel like giving up, it's something I never take for granted. The people in my life have this beautiful way of lifting me up whenever I stumble or doubt myself. Whether it's been through words of encouragement, acts of kindness, or simply being present in the background, they have reminded me time and time again that I'm not alone. Even in moments when life felt overwhelming, they made sure I felt supported. Their love has been a safety net, catching me when I fell and helping me rise again. I'm deeply aware of how rare it is to be surrounded by people who genuinely want what's best for you, who help you grow without conditions, and who never try to dim your light. That's why I cherish them all so dearly. Of course, we've had our disagreements, because we're human. There have been arguments, misunderstandings, and moments where pride tried to get in the way. But what makes these relationships so special is that we've always chosen to resolve things with understanding and care. We prioritize our bond over our egos. We choose peace, not because we always agree, but because we know the value of each other in our lives. And now, having you in my life feels like yet another divine blessing. You, too, are filled with the same beauty, kindness, and warmth that I've come to value so deeply. You have a heart that is forgiving, a soul that is generous, and a perspective that finds light even in the darkest corners. Your ability to adjust, to love unconditionally, and to see the good in others inspires me every single day. I truly thank God for you, and for everyone else who has walked into my life and made it brighter. Each of you is the reason I smile, the reason I push forward, and the reason I believe in love and goodness. I would go to any length to protect, cherish, and honor the people who have given me so much. You are not just a part of my life, you are my life. You are my chosen family, my home, my safe space. I feel proud of who I am, not just because of personal achievements, but because of the love that surrounds me. I've come to love myself through the reflection of your love, through your unwavering belief in me, and your support through all seasons of my life. Thank you, for loving me when I couldn't love myself, for accepting me in my entirety, flaws and all. Thank you for giving me wings to fly, for holding my hand when I was afraid, and for pushing me gently in the direction of my dreams. Thank you for choosing my happiness, even when it went against what the world expected. Because of you, I've learned to live with hope, with strength, and with joy. I feel so incredibly lucky to know you all, to walk this journey of life with you by my side. And if there's such a thing as another life after this one, I hope and pray that I'm given the same people again and again. Because this kind of love, this kind of connection, is what makes life truly meaningful. Thank you, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you 100 times over, for being mine. My dear, I know how difficult it is to live in uncertainty, especially when it feels like your heart is on hold, waiting for someone you love deeply. Not knowing what tomorrow will bring is one of the most challenging experiences we face as human beings. And when you're waiting for someone, perhaps for their return, their decision, or simply their presence, the weight of not knowing can become incredibly painful. It's natural to hope, to wonder, and even to worry. But the truth is, no person in this world can predict the future with absolute certainty. Life doesn't always follow the paths we hope for, and love, as powerful as it is, doesn't always unfold the way we imagine it will. It's entirely possible that the one you love will return to you, and together, you may create a beautiful life full of joy and peace. That is a hope worth holding gently. But it is also possible that your paths may never fully cross again in the way you dream, and that you both may go on to walk different journeys, perhaps with other people by your sides. Life is unpredictable in ways that can be both beautiful and heartbreaking. In moments like these, when the heart aches for answers and the future feels like a mystery, what can we really do? The best thing we can do is to remain sincere and true to ourselves. We must do our part honestly, wholeheartedly, and with good intentions. We must love with grace and act with kindness. But once we've done our part, we must surrender the rest to God or to the universe, whatever you believe in. There is a greater plan at work, one we cannot always see or understand from where we stand. We have to learn to be flexible and open-hearted, to receive whatever life brings us with trust and acceptance. That doesn't mean giving up on what we desire, but rather recognizing that we cannot control every outcome, no matter how much we wish to. What happens, happens for a reason, even if that reason isn't immediately clear. Sometimes, what feels like loss is actually the beginning of something better for our soul. Every delay, every departure, every detour might be leading us to something far more aligned with who we are becoming. I know how difficult it is to not have control over how things turn out. It's frustrating, even painful, to love someone so deeply and not know whether that love will be returned in the way you hope. But here's something important to remember: loving someone truly, from the bottom of your heart, is never a waste. Love, when given freely and selflessly, is a gift to them, yes, but also to yourself. Don't be rigid in believing that this one person is the only one you are meant to be with forever. Love them fully, without conditions or expectations. If your story is meant to continue together, it will. Life and God have a way of bringing together those who are truly meant to walk the same path. But even if things don't go the way you dreamed, even if this person was only meant to be part of your life for a chapter instead of a whole book, be thankful. Be thankful that you got to feel such a deep, meaningful connection. That kind of love is rare, and it's sacred. It teaches us, shapes us, and often opens our hearts in ways we didn't know were possible. Love itself doesn't cause pain. What hurts are the expectations we attach to it, the fairy tales we write in our heads. Not every love story is meant to have a happily ever after. Some people enter our lives simply to teach us, to awaken something within us, and then to move on when their part is done. We must learn to understand the deeper purpose behind every connection. Rather than holding on in bitterness or sorrow when someone leaves, try to recognize the role they played in your growth. Their presence had meaning. Their exit does too. When we live with acceptance, with grace, and with trust in the unfolding of life, we become lighter. We suffer less. And we allow space for new blessings to find their way to us. So keep going, my dear. Let life flow through you instead of resisting it. Accept the unknown with courage, and know that God or the universe is always working behind the scenes, weaving a story greater than we can see. Life is still beautiful, even with its uncertainties. In fact, it is often in the unknown that the most magical transformations occur. Don't let your heart be weighed down by what you can't control. You're not meant to figure everything out all at once. You're meant to live, to love, to learn, and to trust. You're meant to experience the fullness of life, not just its joys, but also its lessons. And above all, know that you are never alone in your feelings. Many hearts have stood where you're standing. Many have found peace. And so will you. There's no point in worrying too much about tomorrow. Tomorrow will take care of itself, as it always does. What matters is that today, you're showing up with love, with hope, and with a heart willing to trust again. That is enough. That is everything.